Boy, just amazing architecture here. The view of the Capitol building in beautiful downtown Denver, Colorado. The Heat are out of Miami and into an interconference game. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Going to bring you the NBA right here on 2K Sports. A quick check now at the starting lineups for both teams. And, guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Kenneth Faried?
Well, when he came out of college, the one thing you knew with Kenneth Faried was he was going to give you a lot of hustle. Great rebounder at Morehead State, and he brought that into the league with him. He attacks the ball, he attacks the glass, plays hard on every possession.
That's just the kind of player he is. It's in his nature. He can't help but hustle after missed shots, and he's willing to battle for rebounds and loose balls with anybody. There's no backing down with Faried.
And while it wasn't the biggest win streak of the season, the Nuggets did have a pretty good rampage of their own from the end of February into March. And because it happened when the Heat were doing what they were doing, the Nuggets kind of flew under the radar.
Now Lawson from 15 feet away. That's good.
And they have to mix it up defensively. That was just too easy.
And so here is Miami. Well, as you said, the Nuggets put together their big 15-game winning streak. But, you know, Steve, since it happened, when the Heat rattled off their big push, nobody really even seemed to notice.
That's right. It might have worked out in their favor anyway, Kevin, because that win streak really kind of put them into high gear and allowed them to climb into the third spot in the West. Probably was nice not having the media focused on them and wanting to talk to them every day about what was happening in the Western Conference.
It's stolen by Haslam. Here's Chalmers. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist.
What a smooth finish.
Well, he's certainly the one they want on the end of those breaks. He always finishes strong.
Watson the pass to Fournier. Shot, no good. Good D by Wade. And here we go. Fast break. Wade's got it. And he can't bank that one in. So here's Gallinari. Here's Lawson. There's the block. The drive by Wade. About a minute and a half through the first quarter. Chalmers dishes to Bosh. 6 on the shot clock. Wade for 3. Wade missing again.
Wade seems to be slowing down just a touch, and the difficulty as you get older when you're not a great jump shooter, which Wade is not, is that defenses will back off you, and that's the big challenge now for Dwayne Wade, adjusting to that newer style of defense that he's going to be looking at.
And Steve, you go back to the strong output for Dwayne Wade last season for the 4th time. In his career, he averaged over 20 points and 5 rebounds and 5 assists a game. Clark, one of only 4 players in the league last season to hit that mark.
And Kevin, he led all shooting guards in player efficiency rating for the 5th consecutive season. Some might argue, but the numbers speak truth. He's the best shooting guard in the game. Guys, I think Kenneth Faried was a steal for Denver with the 22nd pick of the 2012 NBA draft out of small Morehead State. His rookie season, he led the NBA in offensive rebounding rate, and he has not let up since.
And he sinks the second. And for Faried, mostly a dunk and put-back player offensively, though he has some touch we've seen around the rim.
He's worked hard at it, Kevin, because in college he really didn't show anything beyond 3 or 4 feet, but he's worked on that little 10-foot shot in the lane, and despite his height, he's never going to be a small forward. He's always going to be a power guy battling for position under the boards.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, I spoke briefly with Eric Spoelstra. He said that they'd be focusing a lot of their defensive energies on containing Ty Lawson, especially in transition. He added, Lawson is one of the fastest players in the league. So if you let him get out and run, you are putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. We've got to keep him in the half court and and limit his penetration. Guys?
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. No good from Wade.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
The shot's good from Fournier. And that'll tie this game up.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce back.
Miami's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. It's LeBron with the drive. And it's blocked. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, Lawson gets the screen from Fareed. That is in there. Lawson with the assist.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
On the wing, Dwayne Wade. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
One thing with Wade that doesn't seem to be going away is his quickness off the dribble. He still has that devastating crossover. He may not be able to do it every night, but there are nights when he just looks like he's right in his prime.
That's good from Wade. And Wade has a number of elusive moves, Clark, getting into the lane. He can the spin, the Euro step, which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
And the windmill crossover.
He's got it all. I mean, he's figured out how to get to that bucket. And I think the crossover is probably his custom move. Just as he changes directions, he swings the ball quickly over his head to the other side, avoiding the rip. And he makes it look so natural you might think nothing of it. But youngsters around the league, go to school on that one. That's a heck of a move.
And so he makes both from the line.
Only 3 teams in the entire Eastern Conference had a better than 500 record against the West, and no surprise the Heat were one of those 3, and they were dominant against Western Conference opponents all year long.
It's hauled in by the Heat. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Battier with a screen on Gallinari. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Well, an illegal screen is one of the toughest calls for the official to make.
You know, I agree with you. You've got to have some sympathy for the referees when they have to make calls like that, but they get paid well, and they're the best in the business, so they can handle it.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Allen comes in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Norris Cole in for Mario Chalmers. Mark, adding on to what you were saying about the Heat versus the West, they ended up 25-5, which is incredible, Steve, given how many tough teams that are in the Western Conference.
That's amazing, Kevin. They had a better record against the West than they did against the East in terms of their winning percentage. So I think that speaks to just how motivated Miami was when they went out on the road to the West in particular to really show everybody how good they were.
Now Hickson. Shane Battier missing from long range. Releases. Off target on the wing jumper from Hickson.
Looked like he rushed that one, guys. The defense was out of position. He was wide open, just couldn't take advantage.
Cole's shot is good. For Denver, they've gotten 5 of 10 shots to drop in this game so far. Right at the 50% mark. The shot by Hickson, no good.
This quarter has not been his best. The defense may be starting to affect him a little bit.
Battier kicks to Allen. It's back to Battier. Looking for Anderson. He gets it there. And the layup is good. And Denver decides to take their first time out here.
Talking about Chris Anderson, guys, the Birdman. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to fly last season, but he did latch on with a very good Miami Heat team who was in need of some help rebounding, which is his strength. He still can do that and block shots as well.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Brian Shaw was giving to his team. Offensively, he wants them taking any path to the hoop that opens up with other players in support, saying, quote, fewer bodies on the outside, more bodies on the paint. It's still very early in this game, so there's plenty of time for those changes to take effect, Kevin.
And thank you, Doris. Cole, it's blocked. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. 43 seconds left to play in the first. LeBron passes to Anderson, and the shot is good. And the Birdman, a fan favorite from his days in Denver. The tattoos, his kinetic style of play, certainly drawing attention.
Well, he's an athletic presence inside at both ends of the floor. Defensively, he can slide his feet and block shots. And offensively, he's a guy who kind of hangs out on the weak side and finishes plays by catching and dunking.
Here's Cole, covered by Miller. Chandler against Allen for the three, and LeBron James gets it to go. LeBron's got 8.
Tell you what, he is so difficult to guard, especially on a shot like that one.
Miller outside, an absolute bomb from three-point range.
How about that for a response?
We'll say they can give the three as well as they can take the three.
In a high-scoring first quarter, both teams really filling it up. Miami ahead, up 2. From the Pepsi Center in downtown Denver, we're back in a moment.